All right. Can I record? Can I record? You know what? YouTube's going to let me record it. That's great. Okay. All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yappin Podcast. My name is Noah Alcalay, and this is going to be the first episode of this podcast as I just graduated high school, or not high school. I graduated college today, and I didn't want to take any days off. I wanted to hop on a podcast, talk about the Padres, and see what's going on, seeing why the hell everything's happening this offseason. I know I streamed a couple weeks ago, but let's get right to it. Now, today, early this morning, John Sealer was named the new owner for the San Diego Padres, and nobody knew what he looked like. And after thanking the internet for having gone through and looked to find out who he was, this is John Sealer. Now, he has some similar features, if I'm going to be honest with you. I can see the facial expression. He has a little bit of the same hair, not white, obviously, but the same hairstyle. But there are some features, but at the end of the day, honestly, I really hope that John is still pursuing Peter's visions for the Padres moving forward. And honestly, that's really all I'm going to talk about it, because that's not why I'm here today. We're going to be talking about everything on the Padres regarding the players. We're going to be talking about pitchers. We're going to be talking about a lot. Now, there is going to be a segment where I am going to be asking people to ask questions. And so if you do have questions, not saying not dumb questions, but questions that are good to ask, possibly. I don't know. We'll figure it out as we go. But let's talk about it. Let's talk about the expectations, man. These players for this year is going to be absolutely crazy. The San Diego Padres are set to start in just under a week, 6 days from today, and they're set for spring training. And wow, do things look interesting in the lineup. With the Padres offseason that they've had, and there are some players that need to step up on their own and bring the heat this season. With the front office crumbling into the shambles due to the Seidler family feud, only the players can bring the light into what a crazy mess the organization has really become. Now, with pitchers and catchers report on February 12th, which is in 6 days, for their first day of spring training, with Dylan Cease, Michael King, Yu Darvish, Elias Diaz, and all the Padres pitchers, relief pitchers, catchers are headed to Peoria next week. They come 5 days just before the rest of the team does on February 17th. Now, Michael King, Dylan Cease, and Yu Darvish are obviously going to be the focal point in our starting order, the top three. And the starting pitching for the last two spots is going to be very, very interesting. Now, we all may think that it's just going to be, oh, hey, Randy Vasquez. Oh, hey, Matt Waldron. Maybe not. Maybe even Brito. You never know. But these starting pitchers are no doubt in my mind going to perform to the best of their ability. And considering Cease and King are in their final years of their contracts, and Yu even has lots to prove with not being able to land Shohei and not being able to land Roki Sasaki, he's going to go out all year this year and prove how wrong Roki Sasaki was for choosing the Dodgers as his team for the MLB. Now, with Joe Musgrove out for the whole season due to Tommy John surgery, there are others that, like I said, need to step up and fight for spots on the rotation. Players such as Randy Vasquez, Matt Waldron, Johnny Brito, they're pretty much all fighting for final spots on the rotation to stay atop in the major league system and not go back down to the minors. Vasquez averaged a 4.87 ERA, Waldron averaged a 4.91, and Brito averaged a 4.12. So it's going to be interesting to see which man steps up and shows the best potential as we head towards the regular season. And as well, somebody that I didn't even mention, you can even add Adrian Morejon. Yes, Adrian Morejon is a relief pitcher. He was known when he first came up to the Padres major league system to be a starter, and then he got injured. But honestly, if Brito, Waldron, or Vasquez are going through a huge slump like they did last year, I would say put Morejon as a starter for the temporary time being. Not only is he a good lefty, but he strikes out a lot. I there are some times where, he strikes out two pitchers in an inning and then can't Can't wait to get the third one. But I think it would be an interesting situation to possibly put Morejon as a starter. Now, there are other players such as Fernando Tatis Jr., Jake Cronenworth, and Xander Bogaerts, and Luis Campusano, who are in desperate need of breakout seasons this year. And this could be the year for all of them with such low expectations heading into the NL West. Now, Fernando Tatis, being the great player that he has been, has yet to play a full season in a San Diego Padres uniform. Let me say that again. Fernando Tatis Jr. has yet to play a full season in a San Diego Padres uniform. Hey, what's up, my guy, Friar Field Talk? Now, get you out of there. With his injuries the last couple of years and with his 80-game PED suspension that happened back in 2022, this is definitely the year to be the best player in the National League, with him saying that he is 100% and showing that he can be the difference maker on the team. With Profar gone, with Ha-Seong Kim gone, we're going to need Fernando Tatis Jr. to really step up this year as we head into the 2025 season. He and Machado still being in his ultimate prime, and with the young Jackson Merrill coming off a stellar rookie season, they're going to be the three key factors to get the bat swinging and bring lots of wins to San Diego. Xander Bogaerts. Another anticipated player that came from Boston, and we were very, very much anticipated to see how he was going to do, and we had high hopes for him. Now, did we really need him at the time? No. It was kind of a desperate action for the Padres front office, but we got him. And for the last 2 seasons, he's been okay, but he hasn't really been that shortstop, that hitter that he was back in Boston. He desperately needs a breakout season coming into his 3rd year in a San Diego Padre uniform, and I bet you all can agree. With having a 264 average in 2024 compared to his 283 back in 2023, only having 11 home runs and an OPS of 688, I personally think Xander is highly expected to come back and help the Padres compete in the postseason, especially with the contract that he has been given. It's a ridiculous contract. It may or may not be the same, if not worse, than what we gave Eric Hosmer. I believe it's a little bit worse, but hopefully we can see the Xander from Boston come to San Diego and see what great talent this man has in store for the upcoming season. Another player, Jake Cronenworth. Now, I know what y'all are going to say. He had a phenomenal year in 2022. He got that 7-year, $80 million contract. That's great. He had a couple walk-offs last year. That's great. But where was he during the postseason? Where was he when we needed him during the regular season in the first half, right? He is someone that is in desperate need to have a breakout this year, especially going back to second base with Ha-Seong Kim going to Tampa Bay. And like I said, doing very well for the Padres in 2022 during the postseason and getting that 7-year, $80 million contract. Jake could be a great asset at second base, but really needs to step it up as he has been on and off the last 2 years. And with having a 241 average in 2024 with 19 home runs and a 342 OPS, Jake could be the bat that the Padres desperately need as we get to the 2025 season. Last but not least, drumroll please, Luis Campusano. Now, Luis Campusano was supposed to be a great catcher last year. He was a very anticipated catcher as we were going into the 2024 season, and he let us down. He let us down bad. I get it. He had an injury. I get it. Higgy was doing a lot better. Higgy did a lot better, and I'm very, very surprised as to why we didn't re-sign Higgy. But you know what? The Padres organization, the front office, the Sealer family, they're going through a lot right now. They're going through a fight. I get it. But Luis Campusano, man. And Elias Diaz. Great thing that we picked up Elias Diaz, because question was going to be, who's going to be our backup catcher if we didn't have Elias Diaz? Now, I was thinking it was going to be Brett Sully, And that would have been terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. But at least we got back Elias Diaz. The front office did the right thing by getting him back. We don't have a legit catcher, but we have a good catcher. Now, these two players need to play a significant role this year for the San Diego Padres. With Elias Diaz being the All-Star MVP from Colorado back 2 years ago, he can most likely be the starting pitcher or starting catcher in front of Campy, but both catchers need to perform on both sides of the plate. With high hopes, okay. No. Sorry, I'm reading a little bit. But as we wait for Ethan Salas to develop in the minors, as we wait for Ethan Salas to progress in the minors and be the great catcher that he is destined to become in the majors, Campy needs to be that standout player and that key factor for the Padres offense this year. He even needs to play better defense. I don't know if you guys were seeing last year, but the defense that he was playing last year, terrible. He could have played a lot better defense last year, which is why he wasn't catching when Matt Waldron was pitching, because he can't catch his knuckleball. I mean, even Hickey couldn't catch his knuckleball. The knuckleball was going crazy everywhere. But hopefully Campy can work on it this year. I mean, 6 days, man. We need to work on it. And Campy only had a 227 average last year with only 8 home runs and a 642 OPS because he was being outshined by Campy and Elias Diaz during the second half of the season. Yeah, and Campy just needs to step it up. That's really what it comes down to, because at the end of the day, if Campy doesn't step up, AJ has to do what he has to do. He's going to go look around, he's going to go to the market, and he's going to find a better catcher than Campusano and send Campy on his way. Now, with all of these players in mind, and even having with all these players in mind and having even more that have lots to offer this year in 2025, the Padres are still a legit team. Yes, everyone is counting us out right now. Everyone is saying that the Padres are going to be the third or the fourth team in the NL West division, that we are not going to be the same team as we were in 2024. There's no way we're making it back to the playoffs. We're just a terrible, low team, small market team that's terrible, and we're not going anywhere for the next 5 to 10 years. And honestly, I kind of disagree with that. There are a lot of San Diegans too who have lost hope, and I'm kind of surprised. The reason I say that is because there are still really good players on this team, really good starting pitchers. I mean, I get it. There are a lot of players that have 1-year contracts on this team, but that doesn't mean that they're not going to ball out. We all saw their interviews at FanFest. They're obviously upset about how everything went down during the offseason, not really getting anybody and not trading for anybody. But the players think that they still have a legit team, that we still have a legit team on the roster to get to the playoffs and possibly win the World Series. Oh my gosh, why wasn't this going? Boom. Y'all can read that down there. But let's see. At the end of the day, the front office may have been disappointing to all of us, but they are not the ones who go out and play the game. The players do, right? So if the players are very confident, if the players are very courageous about, we're going to go fight, we're going to go win, we're going to go do what we can to get a championship for the San Diego Padres, I'm confident. I don't know about you guys. Manny seems pretty confident. Tatis sounds confident. Michael King sounds really confident. Dylan Cease loves San Diego. He wants to stay in San Diego. I definitely don't see as to why we don't go to the postseason this year. Mind you, the Dodgers, the Diamondbacks, the Giants. I think the Giants are going to take a couple years to, get to the postseason and do what they will on their end of the team, right? But, they have Buster Posey, really, really great catcher, really, really good front office guy. But a lot of fans and a lot of media are counting the Padres out. There's still lots of fans that count on the Padres and want them to win the World Series. Obviously, everyone does. But with there being lots of fuel in the fire for everyone on this team, after losing the Dodgers in the NLDS with the offseason that we've had, this team to some may just look like an average team in the NL West, considering the amount of pickups and the division rivals we have acquired during the offseason. But this team is still going to put up a fight and show why San Diego is still a great contender in the NL West. Yep. Now, I know there's only 2 people in here, and I appreciate you for the 2 people that are in here. What kind of questions do you have, man? I mean, for our field talk, you got anything for me? Other person in the stream, you got anything for me? Let's talk. I wanna see everyone's opinions and everyone's thoughts. No? Okay. Well, as we head into spring training and the 2025 regular season, I want Padre fans to know this. I want you all to be optimistic and see that not all hope is lost for this team. Yes, there needs to be decisions regarding the front office and why they haven't been able to spend money and live up to Peter's expectations as an organization. But we all need to remember that we cannot control that. We can speak on it and we can say our opinions on who we agree with and who we don't agree with. But we also need to remember that the players are the ones who go out on the field every night to get a World Series championship, to win that game every day. The players won all the walk-offs. That was all the players. Obviously, that was not the front office. But I would encourage all of us to be very optimistic for the upcoming year because I still believe that the Padres are one of the best teams in Major League Baseball as of right now, even with some of the players from last season gone and with new teams. Jerickson Profar, Ha-Seong Kim, Tanner Scott, David Peralta, Donovan Solano, Martin Perez, Kyle Higashioka all played significant roles in the past year to help us get to the postseason. But don't forget, we still have a legit team to take us to the postseason again. And I can't wait for it, if I'm being completely honest with you. I can't wait to go back Friday night, 6:45 p.m. Can't wait to go back to my second home. And I know all of you guys can't either. But with that being said, I hope that you all are having a good week. I hope you all are I hope you all are excited about the Super Bowl. Going off topic about the Padres, I hope you all are excited about the Super Bowl. I'm going to a Super Bowl party with an Eagles fan, so I'm anticipated for the Eagles, obviously. But yeah, can't wait for this year for the Padres. Can't wait to interview people out in downtown. Can't wait to interview people at Petco Park. If you see me, say hello. I'll take a picture with you, whatever. But it should be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. But with that being said, that's pretty much it for episode 1. I appreciate you for the 2 people that were here watching it. And let's go Padres.